Every step's a tale I'm hungry for. No crowded spots, I'm off the track. Finding Japan's heart, no looking back. Onsen steam or a temple's calm. Street food sizzle or a countryside song. One life to live, so take the chance. Feel Japan's rhythm, let your heart dance. Nippon Pulse, it's beating strong. Dance to the vibe where you belong. From hidden towns to the neon glow. Living loud, let your spirit flow. Nippon Pulse, it's yours to find. One life, one beat, leave fear behind. Marks on the road with heart and soul. Experience Japan, make your story whole. I'm 51, but young at heart. Australia to Japan, I'm playing my part. Every Ruakan, every winding street. This is the rhythm, this is the beat. Find out. Nippon Pulse, it's beating strong. Dance to the vibe where you belong. From hidden towns to the neon glow. Living loud, let your spirit flow. Nippon Pulse, it's yours to find. One life, one beat, leave fear behind. Marks on the road with heart and soul. Experience Japan, make your story whole. Nippon Pulse, feel the rhythm rise. Japan's alive in my wanderer's eyes. One life to live, so take the call. Nippon Pulse, come experience it all.
Hello, he says. Hello. Slightly jet lagged, very, very jet lagged. I've got a new internet service provider, so hopefully the internet's okay and not lagging out. If it is lagging out, then the internet service provider is not very good. So we're going to find out in a minute to let me know whether or not the internet provider is better or not. How are we, everybody? I am extremely jet lagged. Of course, I haven't been able to upload anything for the past few weeks because the internet has been awfully bad. So we've got a lot to catch up on in the coming weeks, starting hopefully today. He says, if you are here, feel free to have a chat. Hopefully my microphone won't run out because I haven't charged anything at all. So hopefully my microphone will work okay. What a trip it has been. It has been the #1 trip forever. It has just been so extraordinary. I know I did a stream from the hotel where I said this already, that it was the #1 trip and the most extraordinary trip ever, and it has been. It was perfect in every way, shape, and form. And I did very little in Japan because I couldn't think of anything really I wanted to do in Japan, to tell you the truth, because I kind of like have done it all before. I did do some new things in Japan and some expensive things in Japan, and in the coming weeks I will show you those expensive things I did in Japan that were just absolutely extraordinary, that were away from tourists. I try to stay away from tourists as much as I could, and I'll let you know my thoughts of how Japan has changed, because there has been a lot of changes in Japan, especially in the tourist hotspots, which of course I don't like. I don't like the tourist hotspots. But of course, Busan and Korea, that was interesting, my first time there. So we're going to be covering that as well. Mainly, that's where we're going to be starting this whole thing anyway, Korea. And whether or not you should go there, and my thoughts on it as well. And my honest thoughts on it is, should you go there, Seoul for a start. don't go to Seoul whatsoever. I thought Seoul was quite soulless. I didn't know what to expect of Korea to start with. I didn't really have a picture in my head. I kind of did have a little picture in my head. I thought because they were all like compulsory military and they had to go in the military, I thought that it was going to be more regimented, more disciplined in some ways, more sterile, so to speak, and more systems as such. And what I found in Seoul was the other way round. In fact, I found Seoul really dirty and unorganized, and really kind of like a horrible third world Asian country, so to speak. Something that I really wasn't expecting. Now, it could have been the part of Seoul I was in. To be fair, I was only in Seoul for a very, very short period of time, and I dare say if I would have gone to the other side of Seoul, or if I would have explored it a lot more, I dare say there's good and bad in all cities. I could have been just in the bad part of Seoul. I could have been in the tourist part of Seoul. Because, for example, if you're in Japan, if you're in Shinjuku, for example, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's disgusting, it's full of tourists, it's just feral. A lot of people like that, and they seem to think it's normal, but it's not. So I could have been in that part of Seoul. I don't know, but I didn't like it. I just didn't like the vibe of Seoul whatsoever. I did do a video. I don't know if I'll ever release a video, but I did do a video of the part of Seoul I was in, walking from the main train station, and it went for about I don't know, 40 minutes or so, 40-minute walk, just showing how dirty Seoul was, with the graffiti and the broken shop windows, for example, which it took me by surprise, and the rundown buildings and the broken footpaths and everything I didn't expect of Seoul. So because that was like day one arriving in Seoul, I was like, oh God, have I made the right decision to go to Korea? Well, yes, I did, because I was going to meet up with Victor for a start, who was a great support when I went to hospital. Why is everybody messaging me on Messenger? So to go to Korea, I was going there to see Victor anyway. And so it was the right decision to go to South Korea anyway. And luckily, I was only in Seoul for one day before I went to the DMZ. Now, the DMZ was just extraordinary. What an extraordinary day that was. And we're going to be covering all of the DMZ and what I did on that particular day. Absolutely amazing. And then I went to Busan, and that's where Victor was, in Busan. And I've got to tell you, Busan gave it to me in buckets, ladies and gentlemen. That city, Busan, what a fantastic place that is. And I encourage all of you to go to Busan. There's bugger all tourists in Busan. And it's a mix of Portugal crossed with the Gold Coast. That's the best way I can explain it. Portugal crossed with the Gold Coast. In fact, the Gold Coast on steroids. A lot of you might want to come to Australia because you've heard of the Gold Coast, the magnificent beaches and yada, yada, yada. Forget the Gold Coast. Go to Busan. It will blow you away. And then if you're thinking about going to Portugal, forget Portugal, go to Busan, because you've got the best of both worlds. Yes, I'm home. Hi, Super Pups. You've got Portugal and the Gold Coast on steroids together, and that's Busan. And it is ridiculously cheap. And I'm going to show you not even all of Busan. We just scratched the surface, but we scratched the surface in an extreme way. We did so much in such a little time. And that city, I fell in love with in a matter of days, and already I want to go back. There is so much to do, and we just never got around to doing it. We must have done a month's worth of travel in Busan in like 5 days, and I'm not kidding. we were skimming the surface. We were going to attractions and places in Busan, and literally walking in, not even looking properly, and going, right, we've been here, next place. We were just doing that. It was bang, 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 bang. Absolutely extraordinary Busan. I can't speak highly of it. Gold Coast without the tourists and crazy people. And the beaches, but the thing was, the beaches were better in Busan than the Gold Coast. They were better. The atmosphere was better. The restaurants were better. The shopping was better. The tourist attractions were better. The scenery was better. Like everything about Busan compared to the Gold Coast was better. The only reason why I compare the two, the Gold Coast and Busan, is like the Gold Coast, you have the beaches with the skyscrapers right on the beach. Busan is exactly the same. The only difference between Busan and the Gold Coast is the water is better in Busan. I would say the sand's better in Busan. The skyscrapers in the Gold Coast basically are apartments. The skyscrapers in Busan are apartments, but they're also shops and restaurants and theme parks and aquariums and everything else. But then you catch the Blue Line, which is like this tram thing, which then takes you to other beaches around the way as well, around the coastline. So it has a lot more things to do than just the one beach, which the Gold Coast has to offer. So it was just absolutely extraordinary, Busan. And again, really, like extraordinarily cheap. Now, I paid for Victor the whole time I was there. He never asked me to. He didn't want me to. He fully intended to pay for himself. But I had already planned that was my gift to Victor. I fully intended to pay for everything to do with the trip. He was going to be my guest. And so I paid for everything as a thank you to him for the help he gave me while I was sick. I paid for the hotel and everything we did. And I spent and spent and spent and spent and spent. And we get back to the hotel and I checked my bank and no money had gone. Like everything was like really cheap. It was beyond cheap. It was cheaper than Japan. It was ridiculously cheap. There was only a couple of things that were expensive in Busan, like tourist expensive, ridiculously expensive, stupidly expensive. Like I don't want to say a waste of money, but at the point of, okay, this is silly how much you're charging for this. But the couple of things that were stupidly expensive, like the Blue Line, even though it was expensive, because all the other stuff cost nothing, it kind of like balanced itself out. So it was like, well, that cost us nothing. We didn't pay to go into that. That only cost us like $1 or 50 cents. So it didn't matter that the Blue Line cost us $30. Do you know what I mean? So it was extraordinary. The bullet trains in Korea are not very wonderful and not very fantastic. So, you know, don't think anything wonderful of them. They do get you from A to B. They'll take you all around the country. They're somewhat fast. They're somewhat comfortable, but don't expect like a Japanese bullet train by any stretch of the imagination. They're a little bit costly for the comfort and speed they go, really. But, you know, it is what it is. The hotel we stayed at in Busan was just extraordinary. It was called the Almond Hotel for a start. And with a name like the Almond Hotel, you would expect nothing flash from the name, I would say, the Almond Hotel. It was amazing. Oh my God, we walked into this place thinking that it was going to be somewhat, you know, meh. Again, I've got a video of it in the future to show you. And it was just the room was ginormous. It was absolutely ginormous and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it was the only hotel I've ever been to where you could actually go on the roof. You could actually go on the roof, and there was a stunning view on the roof of the hotel. And it cost like nothing, and it was directly opposite from the main train station in Busan. So we had a fantastic time, absolutely fantastic time. I must say though, anything to do with Google doesn't work in South Korea. Don't even try. So Google Maps, throw in the bin. Don't even try. It doesn't work. Okay. Google Maps will tell you something, but it doesn't work. Just don't even go there. It's impossible. What else can I tell you? Cards, like credit card, bank cards, that sort of stuff, pretty non-existent over there. Okay. So cash is king over there. They do have ATMs. It takes some getting used to how to use the ATM. I've got to say, a little bit tricky. When you do arrive at the airport, which I didn't do, which I should have done, you can get a transport card, and that transport card can also be used as your bank card over there to pay for things. I should have done that, but I didn't. Luckily, I had a local, as in Victor, that helped me out with, you know, obtaining my funds and paying for things and paying for transport and this, that, and the other. But make sure you get a transport card. He paid, like, for example, with public transport, he paid for public transport with his key card or with his bank card. But their bank card has a special chip in it for their public transport, which we can't use our bank card on their public transport. It has to be their bank card for their public transport, if that makes sense. I hope I've explained that very well. But anyway, beaches look cool from the photos. The beaches are just amazing. And there's lifeguards on the beaches. A lot of tourists were like drowning because they're not used to the water. You can hire the seats and the umbrellas and all that sort of stuff. It was scaldingly hot. Scaldingly hot. Would I go in the summer again? No, I wouldn't, because it was scaldingly hot. They do have an underground metro. Not many people use it. I don't know why. It's there, just not many people use it. I used it on the last couple of days after Victor went home, and I found it quite nice and enjoyable and comfortable and air conditioned and the whole works. If you have a disability, that's one of the things Victor's studying, disability in South Korea. So South Korea is not really disability friendly. There's a lot of stairs and this, that, and the other. It doesn't really cater for people with disabilities very well. So if you do have a disability, South Korea might be a little bit tricky for you. It's a bus-orientated city. Oh my God, the buses are ever so quick and ever so rough. So hold on tight. Hop in the back door, get off the front door. They are fast. They are rough. They are. It's just insane. You will get to wherever you're going really damn quickly, may I say. But if you have a local there, it could help. If you don't have a local there, try do some research. Try do some research before you go. Hopefully the videos I'll show you in the coming weeks will help you out with figuring it all out. Now, to be fair, if you're Australian, it is a walkable city. Busan is a walkable city. However, it is a hilly city. There is a lot of hills. So you need to be somewhat healthier. If you go in the cooler months, it is a lot easier, he says. If you want to talk, feel free to talk. Now, as mentioned, the videos are not going to be on the YouTube. They're on the website. The website is free. I will only be uploading videos to the website if people go to the website. If people don't go to the website, just like the YouTube, we're not going to do it anymore. So I do encourage you to go to the website, please. The link is in the description of this video below. We encourage you to go to the website, look at the videos. They're free. The very first videos are on the website now, today. And I've got a little sneak peek to show you, okay? And then if you like it, then you can go see the video, like the full video and that on the website today. Anyway, today's video is in the DMZ. Forget about Busan. We'll talk about Busan in the coming weeks. We're at the DMZ now. The DMZ is the border between South Korea and North Korea, okay? South Korea, North Korea. And I spent an amazing day there. I thought it'd be interesting. I never thought it would be as amazing as it was. It was crazy, and I met a wonderful lady that actually escaped North Korea, and we all think we know about North Korea and this, that, and the other, and you know, stories about North Korea and all until I met this lady, I never realized half of what I learned about North Korea. And her story actually brought me to tears. It was so sad. It was absolutely so sad. Because she escaped North Korea, her mother and her brother were murdered by Kim Jong-un and his army because she escaped North Korea. The stories I learned in that are just heart-wrenching. It's just horrible, just absolutely horrible. However, there's and it's really hard to the media that you listen to, that I listen to, the stuff we watch on the internet now, the stuff you watch on television, the stuff you hear from presidents and this, that, and the other. It all leans towards the political way they want you to believe their version of events, right? So, for example, if you're in Australia and I mention Channel 7, you'll know Channel 7 has a lean to whatever they report, and it's usually bullshit. Or if you're in America and you listen to something, it's bullshit and this and the other. But what was interesting, these people that I listened to that escaped North Korea, or these people in the DMZ and that we got to interview and talk to and everything, progress is actually being made to bring the North Korea and South Korea together. And it's happening very, very slowly, but it is happening. The tide is changing. And things are happening, and not so much with Kim Jong-un, for example, and his family, but with the younger generation in North Korea, because no matter how North Korea try and block internet and media and news and stuff from getting into North Korea, and of course older people are not tech savvy, for example, in North Korea, just like older people are not tech savvy in your country. The younger people are not naive when it comes to technology, not even in North Korea. And so information does get through. Information does get through to North Korea about what happens outside of North Korea. And I'm not talking politically, I'm talking about how just people live, how people dance and listen to music, and how people have fun and go to parties and go to beaches and just live and get to do stuff. And the tide is turning. The generation, the younger generation, and when I say younger generation, I'm even talking people like my age, are starting to rebel against Kim Jong-un and the regime within North Korea. And it's believed by all the people that we got to talk to from all these different walks of life, from in North Korea, the people that escaped, and people in South Korea and all this sort of stuff, that within our lifetime, they believe within our lifetime that North and South will come together and be as one, and that North Korea as such will be no more, and they really think this is going to happen. So it's interesting. I hope it will. In saying this, also there have been some steps with good old Kim and his government as well, and the South Korean government as well, to ease tensions anyway. Some stuff is happening. Speakers have been taken down, and steps are afoot to ease tensions with them as well. So, things are happening. Things are happening, and you never know. You never know what will happen. All I know is the people that we did speak to, both sides want to come together. And hopefully it will do, because the stories that we heard in that were just heart-wrenching. And there's people on both sides that are you know, that can't see their family and torn apart, and it's devastating. I did get to go into North Korea slightly, as such. Some of the stuff we could film, some of the stuff we couldn't film. For example, we went into a tunnel. We weren't allowed to film. Oh my God, the security. Some of the places we went to, the security was crazy. We had army people with like big guns and everything come on, search us, take our passports, literally check everything about us. We had to go through scanners, radar machines, and everything. And then other places we went to, it was like free for all. One place we went to, we were told we weren't allowed to lift our phone or any sort of camera up to our face, otherwise we could simply have a bullet shot between our eyes. It was like that serious. And one tourist thought it was a bit of a joke, and they went to lift their phone up to their face to take a photo. And the person that was with the guide that had to take us into this area literally just smacked the phone out of their hand and literally said, you know, were you trying to get a bullet between your eyes? Because if that phone would have got in front of your face, that's what would have happened. North Korea were in these gun towers that were literally 100 meters or whatever away, pinpointing us. And, you know, if this person would have literally held their phone up to their face to take a picture, they would have marked them bang straight through. So it was kind of weird. You know, some places it was fine, some places it wasn't. You know, the tunnel, as I say, we weren't allowed to take anything in the tunnel at all. We were literally searched before we were allowed to go into this tunnel. And oh my God, I never knew it was so steep down. And it was a tunnel that went through to North Korea. Coming back, oh my God, my doctor said to me, my neurosurgeon said to me, don't do anything stressful, especially climbing. Oh my God, nearly killed me. Anyway, I digress. North Korea hasn't been around that long, has it? Well, it's been around a long time. But yeah, it's been around a while. But anyway, getting back to it. So we went on the suspension bridge, the big red suspension bridge. Beautiful it is, beautiful. And basically this suspension bridge takes you through the mountain ranges, which takes you from South Korea. You cross the suspension bridge, you're still in South Korea, and then it takes you through the mountain ranges into North Korea. And then during the war, of course, this was part of the valley, which was part of the war. Now, this video I showed on the website when I was in Korea, but I've now deleted the video from the website, but I'm going to show you because it's a sample of the bridge. However, on the website now, the full video's there, the full walk and the full tour is on the website now. So I'll show you this, which shows you the little bit of the bridge, but then you can go to the website now and see the full walk, which has the gun totes and everything on it now. So this just gives you a little bit of an idea. Now, for some reason, the video on this software is laggy a bit, a bit laggy. I don't know. I think it's just because of the quality of it. It's like 4K on here. So if it's a bit jerky, forgive me. It only goes for a couple of minutes. So I'll show you it. Then we'll come back and then we'll talk a little bit more. If you are here for a chat though, feel free to have a chat. Post a question, post a comment. We love to talk. Only Sam is talking.
Hello, people on NipponPulse.org. This is a short video. You get to see the longer one when I get home. But over there, see on the other side of that bridge, that's South Korea. So see behind me there on the other side of that mountain, that's North Korea. So we're just going to give you a little look at the suspension bridge here. We did the full walk on the longer video, which we'll see later, but I'll give you a little look at it now on this shorter video, because see, I can't upload long videos while I'm on this trip. So this is just a sneak preview, but how cool is this bridge, ladies and gentlemen? What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bridge this is. Let's go for a little walk on it. Not a full walk, just a little walk. And when you walk over this bridge, you just want to go, because it moves. Because it's a suspension bridge, that's what it is. Oh my God, and it's moving already. So we'll just come down just a little way. Here we go. As we come for a fall. There is a waterfall down here, you'll see it in a minute, but see up there, a little, I don't know, gun tower thing, something or other, I don't know. So you could just picture during the war, the soldiers would have had to come down here. This was, you know, the border type thing. The fight had to come down through this ravine. Would have been a bit of a mission, he says, coming down to this rock face and all. But yeah, North Korea, just over there. Crazy, hey? Anyway.
That's really laggy. I don't know why that's really laggy. Anyway, if you want to see the full video of that, the full walk, we climb up the hill and then to the suspension bridge and then see the gun tariffs and everything. Check out the website. It's in the description below of this particular video. Super is here. Hi, Super. And check it out because it's an amazing bridge. It's an amazing walk, and it's part of the DMZ, North Korea, South Korea. Just an amazing day. So, you know, as I say, like, Seoul was pretty crap as far as I'm concerned, but you would go to Seoul to go on a DMZ visit, and to be fair, I wasn't too sure whether or not to go to the DMZ. It's like, you know, I've always thought about going to North Korea to go have a look, and a lot of people go, you know, oh, do you want to be one of those people that, you know, just one of these tourists that, you know, just go there for the sake of going there? And I thought that about the DMZ as well, you know. Do you just want to be one of these tourists that just go there for the sake of going there, you know, just to get the photo type thing? And so I thought, yeah, you know, is it ethically right to go to the DMZ? Should I go to the DMZ? But I'm glad I did, because the DMZ actually teaches you something. It's an educational thing, not just a thing to go to get your selfie photos. As I say, we got to meet, and I made a point in it. You don't have to do what I did in the DMZ day, but I chose to meet people that had escaped from North Korea, that had gone through hardships, to learn about them and learn their stories. And it was really emotional, and I cried. I have no shame about it. I cried from the stories that I learned. I mean, how hard would it have been, this beautiful woman that I met, how hard would it have been for her? Now, she didn't, of course, know at the time that her escaping would kill her mother and her brother. She knew there would be consequences by escaping North Korea. But once she did escape North Korea, and a member of her family was murdered for her escaping, can you picture how difficult it would have been in her mind to sort of think, what do I do? Do I go back and face consequences or punishment myself, or do I stay, or what do I do? And then, of course, the second member of her family is murdered, and then to have that burden on your mind for the rest of your life, that, you know, they were murdered because of her escaping, which she's not to blame for, but you can picture in her mind she would be blaming herself. So for her to be strong enough to make a life for herself, it, you know, just an extraordinary thing. G'day, David. No international incidents from me. No, it was extraordinary trip. the only incident from me was my drone, of course, but that was settled really easy, so that was okay, because I'm a licensed drone pilot, of course. But you know, for her to escape as well, she couldn't just escape by going from North Korea to South Korea. It doesn't work like that. That's too difficult to go that way. So she had to go. I've forgotten the exact route. I'll have to go through my files to figure it out. But I think she had to go via, I think it was China, and then around Myanmar and somewhere else and somewhere else, like several different countries and everything, and literally be arrested and detained, and then go somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else. It took a long period of time to do it, and again, to go through the thought process of, you know, okay, well, my brother's now been taken by the North Korean military and being tortured. Do I go back because he's being tortured because I've escaped? Okay, well, I'm not going back. I can't go back. Okay, well, now he's been murdered by them. Now what do I do? Do I go back? Now they've got my mum. Do I go back? What a horrible, horrible thing. You know, really, really horrible. I mean, what would you do? What would you do if it happened to you? So, you know, and then during this as well, we got to see some footage that had been smuggled out of North Korea, because we get to see the North Korea that North Korea wants us to see, you know, these beautiful buildings and all this sort of stuff, and we know it's a facade, we know it's fake, we know this is a fake North Korea that Kim Jong-un wants us to see. So this footage that had been smuggled out of the shanty towns and the poor people, and the people literally on the street that are being assaulted and beaten and have nothing, no clothes, no food, nothing at all. It was just heartbreaking. It was just awful, absolutely awful. So when you see stuff like that, you go, wow, you know, no wonder you escaped. But we then got to ask questions of her. And everybody was asking questions, you know, about, you know, now you're in a new country, and now you do this and this and this and this. And then I asked her a question, what do you miss about North Korea? I was the only one that asked her a question about North Korea. What do you miss about North Korea? And she said, no matter what happened in North Korea, no matter how bad things were in North Korea, at the end of the day, North Korea was where my family was. North Korea was where my home is. North Korea was where I was born. North Korea was where my town is, where my family home was, you know. And no matter how bad that ever is or ever was, from the day I'm born to the day I die, the number one place that will always be in my heart will be my family home in my hometown with my family in North Korea, and that's what I miss. So, you know. Yeah, the DMZ was completely different to what I thought. Tensions are very high, of course. As I say, there were some areas where, you know, if you held a camera up, you would get a bullet in between your eyes. I mean, it was that serious. The North Korea would shoot a bullet between your eyes if you held a camera up. And then there were other places where there was like no tensions at all, where you could walk over the line into North Korea. So it was kind of weird. So it's really, really weird. It's very, very strange. You know, some places is so laid back that you literally can walk over the line into the DMZ zone and it's totally fine. Other places, there's landmines everywhere and you're told, do not whatsoever step 1 foot off this path, otherwise you will step on a landmine and explode. And then other places, you're free to walk through the grass and look at the flowers. And then other places, you got guards with machine guns and they're taking your passport from you and they're searching you. So it's like really weird. It's like from one extreme to the other, and it can literally be within meters of it. It's crazy. And the DMZ, even though it's supposed to be monitored and supposed to be the safe zone where nothing happens as such, North Korea, for example, sends in its army undercover in the cloak of darkness and puts landmines into the DMZ, into this piece of land that shouldn't have anything on it. And I think they said there was something like 40,000 unfound landmines there that you could just step on and explode. Tensions happen as well, you know, from both sides. Some American soldiers, for example, have done some stupid things in the DMZ that they shouldn't have. And, you know, that have basically nearly caused a frigging war, you know, literally almost caused a war. And you know, people are being killed in the DMZ because of stupidity from both sides. And luckily, it hasn't happened and it hasn't escalated past there. So basically, if somebody's been murdered or killed there, one side or the other, luckily, you know, that side's backed off and, you know, tensions haven't escalated past that type thing. But it's a very, 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 very weird place. Very, very weird place. You know, one part of the DMZ, you can buy an ice cream, you know, and you can sit there in the DMZ, in the bush, unmonitored, and eat an ice cream. Walk over a bridge, unmonitored. You know, you look at the website, the bridge we're walking over, unmonitored. I can jump off that bridge, walk through the valley, sit in the gun tote, whatever, unmonitored. I can do whatever I want. But other places, literally, our bus can be stopped and they'll get on there and they'll take our passport with a machine gun in our face. So it's really one extreme to the other. You know, some bridges you cross, not a problem. Other bridges you cross and there's barbed wire and guns and all sorts of stuff. It's really weird. Is that why South Koreans are going to the army? Well, South Koreans have compulsory military, which you might all know. But really, when you look at this compulsory military, once you're there, it's 99% of them that do the compulsory military. Well, they all have to do compulsory military for a start. But 99% of them that do this compulsory military, it's a token gesture. They're really not learning anything. Like, for example, Victor, he did the compulsory military as everybody else has to in South Korea. But he knows nothing about the military forces or how to protect the country. So he was quite amazed when I told him about everything that was happening in the DMZ. The South Koreans, the real military people with machine guns, the ones that were in the tunnel. He didn't even know this tunnel existed, for example, that we were in, that went down through to North Korea. He didn't realize that the South Korean, the real military, were doing drills in this tunnel, because the North Koreans can come through this tunnel at any time and, you know, kill people. So I think that the compulsory military that all South Koreans do, I think that's really just a token gesture. I think that's just to say to the North Koreans, we've got a big military force, so don't try anything. But it's not really a big military force. I don't think that they could call on all these South Koreans to actually protect the country, because when you see all these South Koreans and their compulsory military, it's kind of a token gesture. It's kind of it's kiddie play. Does that make sense? It's kiddie play. But they do have a real military, of course, and the real military we saw at the DMZ. And they're the serious ones. They're the ones with the machine guns. They're the ones that are running up and down this tunnel with the machine guns. They're the ones that were yelling at the tourists. Because in this tunnel that we went down, for example, which is very, very narrow, very steep and very narrow, that goes from South Korea to North Korea, that the North Koreans built. The North Koreans built this tunnel, and the South Koreans luckily found it, and they said to the North Koreans, "You built this tunnel," and they were like, "No, we didn't build the tunnel." So the South Koreans now do their military drills in this tunnel, and the tourists are told stick to the right, single file. And it's so steep, it's ridiculously steep. There's no stairs, it's ridiculously steep. It's 500, I think it was 500 meters straight down. Oh my God, coming up I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Kid you not, thought I was going to have a heart attack. And some tourists were double file coming up. Well, the military were coming down, and they were taking no prisoners. They had the big machine guns, and they screamed at the tourists, "Single file!" And if those tourists never moved, these army people were just going to just barrel through them. They were just going to take them out, left, right, and centre, take them out. Now, these are the real military. So, yeah, all these compulsory military in Korea, it's just a token gesture. It's literally just a token gesture. I don't think any of these compulsory military people could actually protect the country. And again, to put it in highlight, when you're in Seoul, if all of these compulsory military people actually went through some sort of disciplinary training, Seoul would not be as dirty and disgusting as it is. You know what I mean? So I would say, personally, just through my own opinion, and I could be wrong, but my opinion and my viewing it, I would say that the South Korean army would just be a decent sized army of professional people, but everybody in Korea goes through the army, goes through basic training. Did that answer your question? I hope that answered your question. If anyone's got any more questions, please ask. But yeah, highly worth it, everybody. It was worth every single cent to go to the DMZ. It really, really was. I generally don't go on tours. I don't like tours. I find tours are a waste of money. I did tours in Europe, for example, and I found that they try to take you to as many places as they could, and you never got to experience them. You just paid for them to go, yeah, you've been, see you later. But the DMZ, you have no choice. You have to go in a tour. And to be fair, not all tours are the same. Okay, so you must research on what tour company to go with, which is the best, and which tour to go on, because some tours go to different places or do different things. Some tours get the tickets before the other ones. So for example, you might go on a tour group that says you will go in the tunnel, but only if they can get tunnel tickets, because the other groups have priority to the tunnel tickets, as an example. So make sure you do your research on the DMZ tour you're going on first, that it is a well-known group that you're going with that guarantees the actual tour itinerary you're going on. And that's what I did. I made sure that I went on the one that was guaranteeing me, yes, you will do this, yes, you will meet somebody that's escaped North Korea, yes, this. And we had ample time for everything. They never rushed us. And it was all ample time for everything. Done very well. Our tour guide was extraordinary. If you watch the video on the website, you will see our tour guide. She went above and beyond. She was taking photos. She was our own personal photographer. She was always coming up to us all throughout the tour, saying, do you have any questions? Do you need a hand? Anything else I can help you with? She was extraordinary. She even had personal files that she sent us, which I haven't looked at yet, but she had them to explain everything as well. So make sure that you pick the right tour to go on at the DMZ, but you have to go on a tour in the DMZ. But yeah, an extraordinary day. Extraordinary day. So go to Seoul, go to the DMZ, then bugger off to Busan. That's my recommendation. Or if, because obviously you come to this channel because you like Japan, and you go, well, why are you mentioning Busan or Korea on a supposedly Japan channel? Korea's just across the water from Japan. You can go to Korea on a day trip or a couple of days. It's so cheap to get to Korea. It's so cheap. You can get there for as little as like 30 Australian dollars if you wanted to on like Peach or Jeju Airlines. There's a heap of airlines that go to Korea from Japan. I caught the ferry. I caught a Japanese ferry, an overnight ferry, in fact. And I had a ball on the ferry. Oh my God, I had a ball on the ferry. I like the overnight ferries because it covers a night's accommodation. If you catch these cheap airlines, which is fine, you might like to do that. But the thing is, you pay for your hotel, you leave your hotel, you then have to go to the airport. You miss out on part of your day because you're piss farting around at the airport. You then have to fly, which is great, you get the cheap airfare, but then you land at the airport and then you have to get to the new hotel, then you have to check in and, piss fart around. And I believe you miss a day and then you have to pay for the hotel anyway. Whereas when you get the overnight ferry, and this works in Japan as well, you check out of your hotel, you ask the hotel to look after your bag for the day, which is, they always say yes. You look around the city, which I did. We looked around Busan. You go pick up your bags at night. What time did I board the ferry? I think I boarded the ferry at like 7. I boarded the ferry at like 7 o'clock, I think. Boarded the ferry at like 7 o'clock. So I picked up my bag. My hotel was near the ferry port, which is at the main train station. That's a good thing as well. The ferry port in Busan is at the main train station in Busan. That's a very important point, everybody. Where the bullet train is in Busan, the main train station is also the ferry port. So picked up my bag, went to the ferry port, hopped on the ferry at 7 o'clock at night, I think it was, 7:30 at night. Had a private room. I had dinner on the ferry. The ferry wasn't leaving till 10:30 at night, but you could board early, 5:30 or whatever it was. 7 o'clock. So boarded at like 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night. Got in my private room, had dinner. Dinner was, I think dinner was like $10 for dinner. And I had curry, beef curry with rice, vegetable salad, drink, all that sort of stuff. After my dinner, I had a shower and an onsen, so freshened myself up. Went to my private room. I had some dessert, because you do. Then it got to near 10 o'clock at night, and I went out onto the deck, and there's this beautiful bridge in Busan. I don't even know what the bridge is called, and it lights up at night like stars and rainbows and all these beautiful colours. And the ferry goes out and turns and then goes under this bridge at night. It's just so spectacular. So of course got to see the bridge and film it as we went out, and then you got to see all of Busan all lit up as the ferry goes away. Oh, just so spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So I got to see all of that as we went out, and then came back in to the ferry, had a late night snack, looked at the gift shop because there's a gift shop on the ferry, went to bed, watched a movie in bed, and then in the morning I woke up early, and I saw the sun rising as we pulled into Japan. So I got to see all of Japan in the distance as the sun was coming up, and Hakata coming towards us, which was beautiful. Got to film all of that, so you're going to see that in the future. Then the ferry pulls in with the sun still coming up. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Now you can't get off the ferry once the ferry pulls in. The disembarkment time I think is 7:30. We pulled in at 5:30, I think it was, or 6:30. About 5:30 or 6 we pulled in. You can't get off till 7:30, whether you like it or not. You can't get off. So anyway, we pulled in, had a shower again. I had an onsen, in fact, had breakfast, because you had breakfast on the ferry. After I had my breakfast, went back to my room, packed my bags, got off the ferry at 7:30. My hotel was literally at the ferry port. My hotel at the ferry port was so good. Oh my God, I filmed it as well, so I'll show you that in the future. It was really cheap, and I didn't expect it to be as good as what it was, because it was really cheap, and there wasn't any real photos on the website that I booked this hotel. I literally just booked it because it was at the ferry port. The idea was get off the ferry, dump my bags, go spend the day. That was the idea. Anyway, booked this hotel room at the ferry port, and so I did. I dropped my bags, went and looked at the city, came back, and they were like, and I got back there really early, and normally Japanese hotels don't let you go in until 3 o'clock on the dot. They're like, no, you're not going in. And I got back to the hotel really early, and I sat in the lounge, expecting them not to let me in my hotel room. They came up and they go, oh, you can go in your room now. And I said, oh, but I'm really early. They go, yeah, it's okay. It's hot. Go in your room. I said, okay. Can I get my bags? And they said, oh, they're in the room ready for you. Oh, okay. And they and then they said to me, oh, and to let you know, all our guests, as a gift to all our guests, we don't tell our guests when they book, but it is a gift to all our guests when they come. We tell them that they all get complimentary breakfast. It's like, oh, okay. And then so breakfast came and went down. Beautiful little hotel, literally only a few rooms in this hotel, but so beautiful. And we had this beautiful ekiben. Again, I've got the video of it. I'll show you it in the future. And this woman made the most beautiful little ekiben breakfast for us. Had like fish and everything, and I never eat fish. Never eat fish. Anyway, this ekiben happened, and it was fish. There was different fishes and all this sort of stuff. And I thought, oh my God, I can't eat this. It's fish. Anyway, she's there, and I'm going, I can't really just give her the thing back, you know. Thank you very much. Have your food back, because I'm the only one there, right? Thanks. Have your food back. So I got my coffee, my juice, and yada. I got this beautiful ekiben. It's got, I think, 6 or 8 different things on there. Fish. Oh my God. Anyway, must try it. Tried it. Sensational. Oh my God. What have I been missing out in life? What have I been missing out on in life? The food, the seafood, it was sensational, people. Oh my God. It was amazing. First time I've eaten seafood. Well, and liked it. It was amazing. So yeah, Yeah, absolutely amazing. But anyway, nobody's talking. Please talk or I'll go. So in the coming weeks, we're going to look more at the DMZ. More at the DMZ. Again, if you want to see the full video of the suspension bridge and the walk up to it and the gun totes hidden in the forest, check out the website listed in the description below. I'm only going to keep uploading them and doing this if people go to the website. If people don't go to the website, I'm not going to do it. It's simple as that. I stopped doing the YouTube, uploading to YouTube, because people weren't watching here. If people don't watch on the website, I'm not going to do it. So please go to the website. It's in the description below. It's free. It's free. Just please go have a look. So on the website, we're going to look at more of the DMZ in the coming days / weeks. We're going to have a look at Seoul. We're going to look at Busan. There is so much in Busan to show you. Best food in Korea. Oh my God. The best food in Korea. I don't know. I don't know, Sam. That's a good question. Victor, it's been so long. It's been weeks, and I'm sure Victor got me to eat something, and I don't know what he got me to eat. So whatever he got me to eat must have been good. I know I recorded the food we ate. So whatever I recorded, it will say on there what was good. And I don't remember what we ate. I honestly don't. It's been a long trip. And to be fair, Sam, since my brain operation, my memory, my memory is not the best. To be fair, I'm forgetting a few things. But apparently that's what happens. I have an appointment tomorrow with the brain team, and apparently that's what happens. Apparently I'm going to lose little bits of my memory at the moment, so that's okay. So I know I did eat Korean food, but I don't remember what I ate. But I do remember it's on video, so watch your space. I know I didn't eat a lot. The weather was so hot, and Victor kept eating and eating and eating, and he was like, are you ready for dinner? I said, Victor, I'm not hungry. I said, you can eat, but I'm not hungry. And he was like, and I think he thought that maybe I didn't like the food, but I literally wasn't hungry. I know he liked Mum's Burgers, Mum's Kitchen. I think it was called Mum's Kitchen or Mum's Burgers, which was a fast food chain in Korea. To be fair, their burgers were pretty good. What they called Mum's Burgers? So they were pretty good, even though that's like junk food. I introduced him to McDonald's breakfast. He had never had McDonald's breakfast in his whole entire life. I had a juice over there, fresh fruit juice that they made. That was extraordinary. Their fruits are very good over there, Sam. What else did I have? I honestly don't remember. I really don't remember. I know when I got over there, when I first got over there, I was sick when I first got over there. I left Australia really sick. I remember that. I remember a couple of things. I remember that maybe the trip was too soon after my operation. I remember that because their juice was amazing. Because I think I rushed everything too soon after my operation. I think after my operation, I worked too much, too hard, too quick to try get away for this trip. And so I got really sick. The medication had an impact on me after the operation, so I got really sick. And then so literally a week before I went away, I was super duper sick. I was so sick. And a few people said to me, don't go away. You are too sick. Don't go away. Don't go away. And when I flew, I got even sicker. And then the flight, my second flight was delayed. It was delayed by, I can't remember now, 5 hours or 6 hours or something. And I couldn't sleep. So I never slept for 2 days in a row. And I was burning up with a fever, and I was like really, I was super duper sick. And so I arrived in Korea really like super duper sick. I was coughing. I know I've got a cough now, but I've got a cough now just because I'm tired and jet lagged. But I was coughing and I was bleeding really bad because of the medication I'm on, and my head was pounding, and I was super duper sick. And I thought this trip's going to be really bad. I'm going to end up in hospital or dead or something. So literally I did too much too soon after the operation. I thought this is going to be so bad. And then for some reason, I don't know, I came good. Real quick I came good. And I don't know if it's because the weather was just so stinkingly hot that I came good, or whether, I don't know, someone was looking over me and I just became really good, or I don't know, just something happened and I just became really good. Health-wise, I just became really good really quickly. I know what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I said to Victor, I'm really sick, Victor. I'm really sick. Is there a chemist, a drugstore that I can go to? And he said to me, I'll take you to a Korean, not pharmacist, but a Korean, what do they call, like a witch doctor thing? Not a witch doctor, but, like an old school pharmacist. What are they called? I can't think what they're called. Anyway, one of them things. I'll take you to one of them. And it was out of a train station, so it wasn't like somebody in a deep, dark alley. We went to this place at the train station. And he said, my friend's sick. And the guy gave us this horrible powdery stuff. Gritty, powdery stuff. And these tablets. And he said, take this gritty, powdery stuff. Hey, Mad Hatter, take this gritty, powdery stuff 3 times a day. This sachet, like swallow it. It was friggin' horrible. And take the tablets 3 times a day as well. For 3 days, I think it was. And then we put it into AI. And AI said, no, don't take this. You're on blood thinners and all this after your operation. Don't take this stuff. And I said, oh God, what do I do? I thought, I'll stuff it, I'll take it. So I took it. It was horrible. Oh my God, this medicine was so horrible. But it cleared me up. So I don't know what it was, but it was like one of these witch doctor-y medicine things. And it cleared me up. That's what it did. And it cleared me up. But I think the hot weather helped. But it was the first time, Sam, in, I don't know, 20 years. I've been trying to think how long it was. I'd say at least 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years that I have not had pain in my head. First time ever, I've not had pain in my head. Ever. So this operation, oh my God, a miracle. Absolute miracle. So regardless of me not doing really anything in Japan, just by having no pain in my head for the first time in 20 years, this was the best holiday ever. And look, Sam, you'll like this. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? The Rail Kitchen train ticket. Oh my God, we're going to be showing that in the future as well. That's what we're going to do. So please check out the website, everybody. NipponPulse.org. The link is in the description below. A brand new video today, because I now have internet, a full-length video, 2 videos. Full-length video, 2 videos, and a blog. Do check them out, of the DMZ suspension bridge. You could see how unhealthy I was when I went away, he says. Very unhealthy. I lost a lot of weight. He says, anyone want to say anything before I go? Because it's getting to dinner time. We have people watching and no one talking. Talk, people, talk. There's people here, talk. If you're new here, talk. If you're not new here, talk. If you're new here and you're not, look. In the coming weeks, we will explore the North Korean money. Yes. Look at that, North Korean money. Worth absolutely nothing outside of North Korea. Oh my God. Who wants North Korean money these days? Anyone want to talk? If you're not going to talk, I'm going to go. Final drinks, unless somebody talks. I know you're still here. You're busy. You're on holidays. G'day. How was your return flight? It was long. Oh my God, I am so jet lagged. That's why I'm looking tragic. It was long. How are you enjoying Japan? You were in Japan. The flight was long, but on the first flight they gave me extra leg room, and on the second flight they put me in the quiet zone. So that was okay. But it was long. Very long. Very, very long. But I've come home to the dirtiest place on the planet Earth. Travolta, Cash. Yeah, you remember. Yeah. Good old Travolta. If you never saw it before, David saw it before. This is, I am convinced that John Travolta lives in North Korea. That is him. That is John Travolta. Yes. You enjoyed the overnight ferry immensely. Great, isn't it? Absolutely great. So which overnight ferry did you end up catching? And yeah, I flew with Scoot. Scoot. NipponPulse.org. If you look in the description of this video, it actually has the direct link to the video that I posted today. That way you can go to NipponPulse.org and you can click on Stronger and then click on the link, or the actual link for today's video is in the description, because there is a video today, 2 videos today that I posted today, which is a full-length video of the complete walk of the bridge that I did, that you haven't seen yet. Nice. Did you have a private room, or did you just do the shared room with the tatami mat? Now that you've experienced the ferry, I hope you do plenty more of them. I like the ferries. I think they are great value. I think they're relaxing. Even if you do nothing on the ferries, I think it just gives you enough time to recharge your batteries again with what Japan sucks from you and takes from you. I think I just think they're pretty good value. Did you have an onsen on the ferry? Did you have a meal on the ferry? What did you do on the ferry? Oh my God, dropping my chips. You can hear me crunch. I flew with Scoot, David, because basically it was a direct flight here. I did stop in Singapore, but for only 1 hour, which was pretty good. But do check out the full-length video, everybody, please, on the website. If people don't go to the website, I ain't going to upload any of the videos of while I was away. And now I have a brand new internet provider. Oh my God. I have lots of videos to upload of the DMZ, Seoul, Busan, Japan, The very expensive train I went on, oh my god, $120 or $130, whatever it was. Oh my god, that train, man. Oh, that's a good railway museum to go to there, Matt. Very good. Yeah, just had much water. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You went up on deck though, I'm guessing? Well, for the price, you know, when you live in Perth, do you pay A&A prices or do you fly with Scoot and pay Scoot prices? This is the thing. A&A gets you there maybe an hour and a half quicker, something like that. So do you pay Scoot prices or do you pay A&A prices? Because it's a direct line, you know what I mean? When you're in Melbourne, it's a different case scenario because A&A is like this, where Scoots is like this, you know what I mean? I'm glad you liked it because I can't speak more highly of the ferries. It just gives you that break. And that's what, I think that's what a holiday's all about. You just need that little break. Let me just send the message. It won't be your last ferry, that's for sure, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind Scoot. I don't mind Scoot because their luggage allowance is big. That's the beauty about Scoot. You can take 10 kilos of hand luggage, which is good. And because they fly Dreamliners, you get that extra room on them. I mean, you're still, you know, cattle class as such, but you do get that extra room. You get that extra leg room, you get that extra height and that inner Dreamliner, which you don't get in other ones. You used to have some points. Yeah, Japan was so hot. Sorry. Sorry, message has made it. Is that 40 a record? Japan hit a record the other day. Day before yesterday. It was a record. 2 days ago, there was a record in Japan. Scoot food sucks. The peach flight I went on was quite extraordinary because they're all Japanese on there. I've never hopped on a plane and hopped off a plane so quick before in my life because they're all Japanese passengers. Oh my God. And because I had credit with Peach, I used the credit for priority bags and everything. Priority bags, priority seat and everything. Oh my God, I tell you. First bag off, everything. It was just amazing, you know. And I got it on video as well. It was like, I got off the plane, like literally, you got on the plane and off the plane so quick because they were all Japanese. And we had to catch a bus from the plane to the airport. Everybody was off that plane in like no time. That bus was at the airport in no time. And then at the conveyor belt, I was like, as soon as we got to the conveyor belt started, and I was like, okay, I've got priority bags, have I? Yeah, let's see if my bag's the first one out of the conveyor belt. Yeah, it was. My bag was the first bag on the conveyor belt. It was like, what? So who has not been to the website ever? Who is going to look at the new video today? I hope everybody looks at the new video, because if people don't look at the video, I won't upload any more. The new video today. The new video today. I've run out of things to say. I've been online for a while now, see? And then all of you have come on now. He says. Had a huge argument with my housemates when I got home. Oh my God, the house was in such a state. And I don't know what they did in the past 3 weeks while I've been gone. But the whole house has been overrun with mice since I've been gone. Because they're filthy. And every single cupboard, the floor, everything, just totally covered in mouse poo. Oh my God, I've had to clean the whole house today, everywhere. It's like, how can we have been overrun with mice in 3 weeks' time? And why did you not clean up all the mouse poo? And why did you, oh my God. So I tell you, I have roasted them, absolutely roasted them. Absolutely roasted them. Absolutely. So yes, not too happy, I'm afraid to say. Not too happy. Two dirtiest housemates in history. He says. Bella's okay. She's here, but they didn't really look after her too well either. While I was gone, honestly, these are the two worst housemates forever. The two housemates, while I was gone, they got me to pay them in rent, in total for both of them, $1,500 worth of rent, $1,500 in rent to look after Bella. And that was just to feed her. Just to feed her, nothing else. They didn't take her for a walk. They didn't do anything. While I was away a couple of days ago, one of them messaged me and said, Bella wanted to sleep on the end of their bed. And I said, oh, okay, that's nice. And they said, so they want more money. They want additional rent because Bella wanted to sleep on the end of their bed. So I wasn't too happy about that, because if I didn't agree to it, they were going to kick Bella out of the room. So I had to agree on that one as well. So they held me over a barrel. Anyway, so all they've done is fed her, that's it. I've come home and while I was away, they said, oh, we've got a mouse and cockroach problem. I said, what do you mean we've got a mouse and cockroach problem? I've never had mice or cockroaches in my house before, ever. I said, the house must be filthy. Must be absolutely filthy. And they said, well, when you get home, you best clean the house. I said, what do you mean I best clean the house? Why haven't you cleaned the house? And they said, that's not our responsibility. I said, your housemates, it is your responsibility. You are to clean the house, as you know, I'm to clean the house. Anyway, so I've come home yesterday, and the floor, and I kid you not, this is not a gross exaggeration, the floor was covered in mouse poo. I opened the drawers, like the kitchen drawers and cupboards and everything, it was all covered in mouse poo. I thought, what the hell? Everything was covered in mouse poo. So I've had to empty everything, like literally empty everything, and clean all the mouse poo, and like literally wash and disinfect everything. Now, while I was away, I had to order from Amazon mouse baits and catchers and everything, which apparently have killed all the mice. Right, so it's killed all the mice. But to give you an idea, this is what my kitchen cupboards were like when I got home. I sent this picture to Pauline. If I can, or can I darken this somehow? That was my kitchen drawer when I got home. I was like, what the so I've literally roasted them. Now they were about to move out anyway. They're moving out in a couple of weeks anyway. They're about to go home overseas, and they're wanting their bond back. I've literally just roasted the sugars out of them, and they've oh my God, they've gone. I'm really sorry about that and the condition of the house. I'm so sorry about that. I'll be home at about 9 o'clock and I will clean everything. Can you please wait until then before you do an inspection? Well, if I ever need anything off you, know what to tell them. Charge them, you know what, hand wash it the other day. Gross. Yeah, like, I can't believe it. In 3 weeks... it's got like that. How can you get a plague? How can a place get like that within 3 weeks? I don't understand it. How can a place get like that within 3 weeks? I don't get it. What's happened in 3 weeks for it to get like that? Japan, they're Japanese. They're Japanese. But like, for example, even the bin, like when they've thrown stuff away, they haven't even, this is how lazy they are. They wouldn't even like wipe the bin lid, right? And it's like, no wonder we've got frigging vermin in that. This was a, look at that. That was a, like, what the hell? This is what I came home to. All through the house. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? And they want more money. I gave them $1,500, $1,500 to look after Bella. All they did was feed Bella. And then I've come home and the house is like this. So I've told them that I haven't done it yet, but I've told them I'm going to look at their rooms to do a bond inspection. Let's have a quick look. Wait there for a second. Let's play you a song. Wait there. Let's see how clean these people are.
Hello, people on NipponPulse.org. This is a short video. You get to see the longer one when I get home. But over there, see on the other side of that bridge, that's South Korea. So see behind me there on the other side of that mountain, it's North Korea. So we're just going to give you a little look at the suspension bridge here. We did the full walk on the longer video, which we'll see later, but I'll give you a little look at it now on this shorter video, because see, I can't upload long videos while I'm on this trip. So this is just a sneak preview, but how cool.
Anyway, that video is lagging and you don't want to see their rooms because it'll give you a heart attack. So, yes, quite disgusted really. So yes, I was quite disgusted. I said to them, you know, it's your responsibility as housemates to clean the house. You know, and you know, when I pay you $1,500, you are required to leave the house. I wrote, guys, this kitchen and the bathroom are disgusting. Neither of you cleaned any mouse poo. It's all throughout the kitchen, in every cupboard, in every drawer. I'm not your personal cleaner. Your rooms will be inspected tonight. If they are not perfectly clean and undamaged, no mouse poo, no dirt, etc., you'll be losing your bonds. If you do not clean the house from top to tail, you will both lose your bonds. Neither of you have cleaned any part of this house since you have lived here. You are both lazy and filthy. To live in this house with the mouse poo is disgusting. How could you have been opening the cupboards, eating the food, and seeing all this mouse poo and ignoring it? What the f is wrong with your brains? This is disgusting. You are effing pigs. Like, luckily they're not dead. Can you imagine the dirt? So I've vacuumed, I've disinfected everything, I tell you. But, like, so I bought the poisons and the traps and that have killed the mice, and they've disposed of the bodies, because I said to them, you've got to get rid of the bodies, guys. This is while I was overseas, because they're like, you know, they took photos and sent me them. I said, you got to throw the bodies away, otherwise Bella will eat them. And they're like, oh, okay. But then they've left the poo. It's like, you can't just leave the poo. Like, what the hell? Where, you know, you can't just leave the poo. You get sick. Where is it? So while I was overseas, where is it? So while I was overseas, they just sent me the picture of the dead mice. And they go, oh, there you go. There's a dead mouse in the kitchen. Can you clean it when you get home? So, dude, you got to throw it away. Bella can eat it. And they leave the poo. They leave the poo everywhere. Yeah, Yokohama. The fireworks in Yokohama last night malfunctioned. Sam was telling us, thank you, Sam. And they exploded everywhere. Big disaster. Big disaster. So yeah, quite amazed. Quite amazed. So in 3 weeks, for $1,500, I've come back to an absolutely filthy house. They want more. They want more money, because they say $1,500 doesn't cut it, because Bella wanted to sleep on one of their beds. And there's Bella there, laying there on the, oh, if you could see her, laying there on the lounge. Obviously a big inconvenience. And yeah, all I've been doing today is disinfecting everything and vacuuming everything and cleaning everything. Yeah, well, that's what they said to me. They said, you know, when I get home, I will need to thoroughly clean the house and clean everything. I can't even begin to tell you what the garden and that looks like. Absolutely. It's just, it's absolutely disgusting. I've never in my life, never in my life, and whenever I've gone away, I've always done the deal of giving the a housemate free rent for looking after Bella, always. You know, that's fine. I've never had to give 2 housemates free rent. But when you give a housemate free rent, they usually, you know, walk Bella and play with Bella and feed Bella and let Bella sleep with them and that. You know, that's what they do. You know, so if I go away for 3 weeks, that's usually 3 weeks rent, you know, like $600 type thing, and she usually gets spoiled. This has cost over $1,500, and I've come back to a filthy frigging house, literally destroyed house, and they want more. It's crazy. Yeah, so I honestly can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. So they're both leaving to go back to Japan. So, but yeah, that's 3 weeks of, you know, like, it shows you how filthy they are to get like this within 3 weeks. The bathroom's just, I haven't even touched the bathroom. I've demanded that when they get home tonight that they clean the bathroom. Because as I say, I've lifted everything out of the cupboards today. Because you can't use cutlery and you know, pots and pans and all this sort of stuff while, you know, there's mouse poo there. I've had to like literally wash everything to make it like hygienic again, because if you're eating something with a knife and fork that's had mouse poo on it, you know what I'm saying? God, I shouldn't be telling you about my dirty house, which is not dirty anymore. You know, I've even like had to pull out all the lounges and rugs and everything just to give everything a real detailed clean. So that's what I've been doing today, to just try bring it up to some sort of standard. But 3 weeks, it only took them 3 weeks to get the house like this. I don't know how you would get mice and that in the house within 3 weeks. I don't know. How would you do that? I don't know. But anyway, 'tis life. Stress less. Stress less. But yeah, so I don't think I'll be going away again anytime soon. This rated as, what do they live? Their mum's in Japan and she does everything and think you need to clean. I can't even begin to tell you what, because when I did the video I just went and looked at their room. I can't even begin to tell you what their room looks like. So I think we've had mice for a while in their rooms. Their rooms are disgusting. His room, he's never washed his sheets since he's been here, ever. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think I'll be going away again for a while. Maybe at the end of the year I'll go back to Busan in the winter, maybe. I feel no need to rush back, especially to Japan. I feel no need to rush back anywhere at the moment, to tell you the truth, because this trip was so perfect. Again, this has been the cleaning fairy must normally do the cleaning for them. I've got no idea. It's just crazy. And my rent here is really cheap. They pay nothing for rent. They pay nothing, and everything's included. They pay $200 a week, and it includes all bills, internet, everything. And I've run them to work in the car and all sorts of stuff. So they get a sweet old deal. Yeah, so I'm in no rush to go away again. I know I bang on about it a lot over the past few weeks and that, but you guys will never really know how like different my head is pain wise. Now it's just crazy. This is the first trip in at least 20 years. I like haven't realized that I've been in pain for at least 20 years, I would say. I've been trying to figure out how long it is. It's so hard because I've got a bit of memory loss at the moment. But apparently I'm supposed to have memory loss at the moment, so that's okay. I don't know how long this memory loss will last for. It's strange, like some stuff I have memory loss about and other stuff I don't. It's strange. But I've literally been trying to think, how long have I had pain? And it's got to be the whole time I've ever travelled overseas. It has to be. I can't remember an overseas trip where I've never been in pain, ever. And this is the first time ever I've never, ever been in pain. And it's the first hot weather I've never been in pain. So they did the operation, of course, in Australia in winter. And so I've had flu symptoms and cold and everything over here. And of course, after the operation, I've been really run down and getting used to the medication and the cold and the flu and everything. So even though I haven't had pain, I've had other symptoms which has made me feel sick in Australia. So it was the first summer hot weather I've had since my operation. And I've got to say, apart from the cough and that I've had at the beginning of the holiday and the end of the holiday, the middle period where I never had the cough, I felt amazing. So much so that when I did nothing in Japan, because this trip I did nothing in Japan. There were days, like weeks, where I did nothing in Japan because there was nothing I wanted to do. I just hung around shops. I did nothing, like literally nothing. I had the bestest time. It was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Good God, it's Perth, for crying out loud. Don't know how good they've got it. Yeah, I know. Maybe a holiday to Melbourne. That's not going to happen. I guess when you're in pain, as default, you kind of only know that. Well, I only knew pain. And the thing is, the pain I had and what the doctor that was misdiagnosing me was telling me, I thought it was normal. So that and I got so used to the pain because I had it for so long. The weird thing was when this pain went, it actually felt weird, and I thought something was wrong because I could feel nothing here. Not just pain, but I could feel nothing here. I couldn't feel my head because I'd always been able to feel my head. I could always feel that there was something there, pressure. I could feel pressure there. And so I always knew that I had a brain or a head or something there. And all of a sudden there's nothing there. So it felt really strange. And so in the summer, it was hot and it was horrible and it was uncomfortable because it was really hot. But I had zero pain in Korea and Japan, and it was crazy because I've never experienced that before, ever. Strangely weird. All these things that the doctor that was misdiagnosing me as sinus and this and this and this and this, it just didn't. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. It was crazy. The migraine thing, which is a real thing, which one of my medications now deals with, which is a bloody thing that stops me from drinking. So this was the very first trip I never had a drink. I'm not allowed to drink at all again for the rest of my life because of the medication I'm on. That was interesting because a couple of times you could feel that the brain wanted to give me a migraine, and you could feel it. It wasn't giving me the migraine at all, but you could feel it, and it was sort of like going, we're here, we want to, but the medication's not letting us. Please let us. It was a strange feeling because, as I say, I wasn't causing any pain, but you could feel that it was like literally just here, going, can you please let us in? I know I'm not explaining this very well. It was very strange. It kind of strange. So yeah, literally, because I had no pain in the head for the first time in, as far as I can remember, it was the best holiday. It was absolutely the best holiday. Mad Hatter, who's in Japan at the moment, would message us every day. And Mad Hatter would say, you know, that she was going here and doing all these wonderful things in Japan. She was doing so many things and seeing all these things. She'd say, what are you doing today? And I'd say, nothing. Maybe go to the shop. Maybe go to Daiso. That's it. Maybe go to Don Quixote. That's it. Maybe go to McDonald's. That's it. That's all I was doing. I was just doing that's all I was doing. Maybe sit in the hotel. That's it. That was my time. That was it. And I was really happy with that. I didn't need to go anywhere or do anything because I was just chilling because I was in no pain. I did do stuff. I went on the train, the very expensive train. I went to that amazing theme park. I got to see the fireworks. What else did I do? I don't remember what I did. I filmed it all. What else did I do? I don't know what I did. I bought a lot of clothes. Not these. I flew a drone. What else? I crashed a drone. Did I tell you? I had to crash my drone. Did I tell you I had to crash my drone? I think I did. Maybe I didn't. I literally had to smash my drone out of the air. Yeah. Bastard of a thing. I went up an observation tower in Japan. I honestly can't think of what I did in Japan. I think one of the mistakes I did, if anyone's still watching me, most probably nobody's still watching me. Oh, a couple of you are. I think one of the mistakes I did was I stayed in Fukuoka, Hakata, for too long. It was a last minute decision to stay there. I've always just stayed there for like a day or two and then buggered off somewhere else. I should have just stayed there a day or two or buggered off somewhere else. There's really not a lot of stuff to do there. It's also been overtaken with tourists now, and the tourists that are there are really not the best tourists on the planet Earth, I gotta say. But yeah, that city's kinda boring as batshit after a few days. There's not a lot to do. So yeah, I mean, in some ways I saved a lot of money by staying there, but I also spent a lot of money by staying there as well because I bought a lot of clothes and that. I found a really good factory outlet shop over there, but yeah, it was pretty boring. Why can't a T-Rex clap their hands? Because they're extinct. Oh my god, that's a good joke there, Sam. I like that one. That's pretty good. I don't regret. In some ways, because originally I was going to go to Sapporo. I don't regret it because I kind of saved money. I did go a bit crazy in spending money in the last day or two in Tokyo. I bought a lot of crap that maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah, I did buy a lot of crap, but I kind of did. I thought I would. Yeah, I kind of did better with money than what I thought I was going to do, and I put that down to Korea. Korea was so cheap. I always thought Japan was cheap. Korea was ridiculously cheap. It was ever so cheap. Ever so cheap. So I think Korea I was actually worried because I thought starting in Korea was really going to blow the budget, because again I was paying for Victor, which he never knew. That was my gift to Victor. My dastardly plan. Victor's dastardly plan was he was going to pay for me, which I knew he was going to. That was his plan. So I had to be cunning to make sure that I paid for him. So I had pre-arranged to pay for a lot of things, and you know, I'd dastardly done some stuff, so that when he went to pay, of course, it had all been paid for. And I thought, oh, you know, the budget's going to really blow out, and then I'm going to get to Japan, I'm going to have nothing. And that's why I decided to stay in Hakata, Fukuoka, because I thought, by the time I get to Japan, I'm going to have absolutely no money. And if I go to Sapporo, I'm going to be absolutely broke, and it's going to really screw me up. It worked the other way. Like, the amount of money I had when I left Korea, I could have gone to Sapporo, and then I could have bought a Shinkansen pass, and then I could have gone and seen Mad Hatter, and then I could have gone to Aomori and Sendai and many other places as well, because I had a surplus of money that I could have actually used, because South Korea cost me nothing. It absolutely cost me nothing. So yeah, now I know for the future that if I do the trip again, the South Korea, if I start in South Korea, I know that whatever money I take away, it's not going to bleed into that. No, because you've done it the way that I would usually do it, and that as well, and you've gone to the places where there are no tourists. I mean, we've been talking the whole time that you've been in Japan, and when I was there as well, and like that theme park I went to, which is amazing, that I can't wait to show you people eventually. That was just extraordinary, because there were Japanese tourists there, but there was nobody else there. There was no English, American, Australian, whatever tourists there at all. There was none. This theme park was just extraordinary. And then to have the two fireworks displays there was just amazing. The water light show, and that was amazing. And then followed by the firework display was just, it was absolutely crazy. So, you know, yeah, this trip that I did Mad Hatter, even though I didn't do a lot, as you know, I think for future reference, when I do my next trip, whenever that may be, maybe in the winter, I think I'll be able to plan a really good itinerary. And I know you're thinking about doing Busan with your nephew and that in the future, and Japan. I think I might be able to come up with a really, really good itinerary where I go Busan, the lunch train, the theme park, and then some countryside places and some places you've gone to that will A, keep me away from the tourists, but B, save a lot of money and come up with something really good. So yeah, maybe look at that for the winter. I might, I don't know, I'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to be in any rush to be going away again anytime soon. I think I'm quite content now. I think again, I think the head pain that I had as well made me want to go away a lot more. I think I'm a lot more calmer to be here and do nothing with no pain in the head. So, you know, I think when you have the pain in the head, you just, you want to try do stuff to keep your head occupied. Does that make sense? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, don't spend a long time in Fukuoka, because it's as boring as batshit. Oh, Busan is way better than Seoul. In fact, never go to Seoul. When I got to Busan, and I say this on one of the videos you'll see in the future, the very first thing you see when you get to Busan at the train station is a sign that cracked me up. And it's all around Busan, and it says, Busan is good. And I laughed because when you first see it, you look at it as an Australian or an English-speaking person, and you go, oh, you know, the translation is bad, and it's like they're telling you, you know, Busan is good. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's good. You know, Busan is good. You know, you will come here and Busan is good. And you go, yes, yes, okay, yeah, I understand. Busan is good. And it took me a couple of days to understand what it meant. And I, to be honest with you, I'll tell you the honest story. I actually, we'd have breakfast. And I said to Victor, I'm just going to the toilet, Victor. And I went to the toilet. And it hit me on the toilet. And I came out and I said to Victor, oh my God, I've got it. I now understand what Busan is good means, Victor. And he says, you do? And I said, yeah, I do. I said, everybody flies into South Korea and they go to Seoul first. And they're really let down by Seoul. It's a dirty, disgusting city that's out of control, that's not very good. Seoul is shit. And it is. Seoul is shit. I'm saying it the way it is. It is dirty, run down, graffiti, vandalized. It's a mess. It's like any Asian country. It's horrible. And then so after people leave Seoul, because I've never heard of anybody flying to South Korea into Busan. They fly to South Korea into Seoul. That's where people go. And so they go into Seoul. They're disappointed with Seoul, and the next place they go to is Busan. And they go to Busan and they're disappointed from what they've just seen. So they get off at the train station, and they get off at the train station, they're going, oh, here we go, you know, we've seen Seoul, we're disappointed. We're going to see Busan, we're obviously going to be disappointed. And the first thing they see is this sign, and this sign is like the government or the people of Busan saying to them, you know, we're sorry you've seen Seoul, but please, please, relax. Busan is good. Trust us, you know, relax. You know, Busan is good. Busan is going to be something different. And honestly, I believe that's what the sign means. What they're saying is Busan is good. And it is. It's a world apart of the two. And I do believe it means that, because when I went to Germany, the same thing happened. When I went to Germany, and I originally went to, oh my God, my mind's gone blank again. Where did I go in Germany? Seoul is Osaka, yeah. Seoul is exactly Seoul is Osaka, but worse. Seoul is soulless. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. So yeah, that Berlin. Thank you. Oh my God, my brain. I told you my brain's not working. So when I went to Berlin, I was expecting Berlin to be an amazing place, and it is. Berlin has wonderful things to show people, but people of Berlin don't want you to be there. And it's run down, and it's dirty, and it's graffiti, and the people are horrible, and they don't want you there, and they don't want you to see the bunkers, and they don't want you to learn about the history, and they want you to piss off. And Berlin is just a horrible, horrible place. And then you get to Hamburg, and you step off the train, and Hamburg is completely different. Hamburg is just like, you know, hey, come on in. You know, we're different here. We're not Berlin. Well, it's the same as Seoul and Busan. And that's what the signs means in Busan. Busan is good. We know you've been to Seoul, but you know, we're sorry about Seoul. You're in Busan. The people are different here, right? The people are different. The city is different. You'll have a good time here. To be fair, the people in South Korea are a bit not friendly, I would say. Not friendly. They're not used to... I would put it down to they don't trust anybody that's not South Korean. I think I saw like 3 smiles in South Korea generally. So they're not the friendliest people on the planet Earth, I would say. But yeah, you know. But Busan has the greatest character. You saw him, didn't you? Let me get the thing. Boogie. 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 Boogie Busan. Boogie is a, and this is their words, Boogie is the overweight fat seagull. That's what he is. He's the overweight fat seagull of Busan. So, yeah. So, yeah, I... And there was so much to do in Busan as well. A lot of history, old, new, fun, serious. You will not be bored whatsoever in Busan. Like, seriously, you will absolutely not be bored in Busan at all. There is something for everybody, old, new, fun, adventure, everything you can imagine. Really, really good. I took a terabyte worth of videos to show you, so don't take my word for it. Wait till you see all these videos. There is a lot to show you. I know you're gonna love it. Absolutely, I know you're gonna love it. 6:45. Oh my god, it's nearly 7 o'clock. I must go and eat. That's what I must do. I must go and cook, everybody. Final drinks. Does anybody want to say anything before I go? Please check out the website, NipponPulse.org. Have a look at the description in this video because there is a direct link to the videos. 2 videos, free to watch. The reason why they're not on the YouTube is we don't get any views on YouTube. Go look at the website. They're free to watch on the website. But there's also a blog there as well that you can read a little bit of history and everything as well, because sometimes when I make videos, I'm not very good at explaining things. So you get to watch the video and see all the beautiful scenery and all that sort of stuff. Then you can read the blog if you want to or not, and it gives you the history of everything. And we're looking at the DMZ, North Korea, South Korea, the beautiful suspension bridge. We go for the full walk across the suspension bridge from South Korea to North Korea. So go have a look, please, at the video. Share it around. And if people watch it, there will be more videos of the DMZ, South Korea, North Korea, and then Japan. And if people don't watch, there won't be. So please do go watch it. It's free. It's free. Support. All you got to do is watch it. That's it. Nothing else. We're not going to sell you anything at all. Just go watch it. That's all I ask. There's the link there, NipponPulse.org. It would be greatly appreciated. But apart from that, Mad Hatter, you continue to enjoy your holidays over there. Not long to go, so enjoy. Isha, enjoy your holiday as well. Sam, you're not on holidays, but have a good time. David, keep being David. Anybody else that's here that I forgot about? Keep being you. Have a good day. I'm going to go eat. Wherever you are in this big, wonderful world, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. We will see you again on the Nippon Pulse channel when I upload a new video to the website, NipponPulse.org, like I did today. Do check out the website. There are 2 videos on the channel today under the Stronger tab. Click on the Stronger tab once you are on the website. On the Stronger tab, because it's under the Stronger tab. See you later.
Chasing the pulse where the locals stay.
it all.